I stood frozen, staring at the old diary in my hands. My sister's handwriting spelled out how she planned every cruel prank, every rumor, every moment that broke me in high school. My own sister was the monster behind my pain. Before we start, let us know in the comment section where you're watching from. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. I found the diary in the attic while helping Mom clean. It was tucked in a dusty box labeled Lila's stuff. Lila, my older sister, moved out years ago. The cover was pink, faded, with a tiny lock busted open. I flipped through it, expecting silly teenage secrets. Instead, I saw my name over and over. "Make sure everyone laughs at Emma's shoes today," one page said. My stomach twisted. Those shoes got me mocked for weeks. I kept reading, my hands shaking. Lila wrote about spreading rumors, stealing my homework, and even paying kids to trip me in the hall. Every awful moment from high school was her plan. I thought she loved me. We shared secrets, laughed together. How could she do this? I sat on the attic floor, the diary heavy in my lap, wondering who my sister really was. High school was hell. I'd walk down the halls, kids snickering. My locker got stuffed with trash. My gym clothes vanished before class. I thought I was just unlucky. Lila was a senior when I was a freshman. She'd hug me at home, say, "Ignore them, Em." I trusted her. Now, reading her diary, those memories hit different. She wasn't comforting me, she was playing me. I remembered one day clearly. Someone spilled juice on my backpack, and everyone laughed. Lila was there, acting shocked, helping me clean it. Her diary said she paid a kid to do it. My chest hurt thinking about it. How could she smile at me while stabbing me in the back? I wanted to call her, scream, ask why. But I was too scared of her answer. I hid the diary under my bed. Mom noticed I was quiet at dinner, but I said I was tired. I couldn't tell her. She'd always say, "Lila's your biggest fan." It would break her heart. Plus, Lila was coming home for Thanksgiving in a week. I didn't know how to face her. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw her diary's words. I tried acting normal, but it was hard. I kept thinking about Lila's fake hugs, her lies. I checked my phone, her last text said, "Can't wait to see you." My fingers hovered over the keyboard, wanting to confront her. But what would I say? "I know you ruined my life." I wasn't ready. I needed proof, or maybe courage, to face the truth. I couldn't stop thinking about high school. One memory stung the most, the talent show. I signed up to sing, nervous but excited. Someone swapped my music for a stupid clown song. The crowd roared with laughter. I ran off stage, crying. Lila hugged me backstage, saying, "It's okay, Em." Her diary said she planned it. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept seeing her face, smirking as she wrote those cruel plans. Why did she hate me? We used to play together as kids, share ice cream, tell secrets. Was it jealousy? Did I do something wrong? I needed answers, but the thought of confronting her made my heart race. Thanksgiving was too soon. I read more of the diary, hoping for an explanation. Some pages were just normal stuff, Lila's crushes, her fights with Mom. But then I'd find another plan to hurt me. "Tell everyone Emma cheated on her math test," one said. I never cheated, but kids called me a fraud for weeks. Lila was so careful, no one suspected her. One entry stopped me cold. She wrote, "Emma's too perfect. She needs to fall." Perfect. I was shy, clumsy, and struggling to fit in. What did she see in me that made her so angry? I wanted to rip the diary apart, but it was the only proof I had. I needed to know why she did this before I faced her. Thanksgiving was 3 days away, and I was a mess. I avoided Mom's questions, saying school stressed me out. She believed it. I kept the diary hidden, rereading it at night. Each page made me angrier. Lila's texts kept coming, "Miss you, sis." I didn't reply. I couldn't fake it anymore. At school, I zoned out in class. My friend Jess noticed, asking what was wrong. I almost told her but stopped. It sounded crazy. My sister, the bully? Jess wouldn't get it. I needed to face Lila alone. I practiced what I'd say. Why did you hurt me? But every time, my voice shook. I wasn't ready, but time was running out. I decided to confront Lila at Thanksgiving. I'd wait until we were alone, show her the diary, and demand answers. My hands shook just thinking about it. What if she lied? Or worse, laughed? I needed to stay calm. I wrote down questions. Why me? Did you hate me? Are you sorry? I hid the diary in my backpack, scared Mom might find it. I couldn't let Lila twist this, make me look crazy. I kept imagining her face when I showed her the proof. Would she cry? Yell? I didn't know her anymore. All I knew was I deserved the truth, no matter how much it hurt. Thanksgiving morning, Lila pulled into the driveway. My heart pounded. She looked the same, long blonde hair, big smile. She hugged me tight, saying, "Missed you, Em." I stiffened, but she didn't notice. Mom was thrilled, chatting about dinner. I kept quiet, the diary burning a hole in my backpack upstairs. At dinner, Lila acted perfectly, telling funny stories, helping with dishes. Everyone laughed, but I watched her every move. Was she faking it now, too? I caught her glancing at me, her smile fading for a second. Did she suspect I knew? I gripped my fork, counting the hours until I could confront her. After dinner, Lila asked me to walk to the park. "Just us," she said, smiling. My stomach flipped. This was my chance. I grabbed my backpack with the diary and followed her. The park was empty, leaves crunching under our feet. She talked about her job, acting like everything was normal. I barely listened. We sat on a bench, and I couldn't wait anymore. I pulled out the diary, my hands shaking. "I found this," I said, holding it up. Her face went pale. "You wrote about bullying me. Why, Lila?" She stared at the diary, silent. For the first time, she looked scared, not in control. Lila grabbed the diary, flipping through it fast. "This was a joke," she said, her voice shaky. "I didn't mean it. I didn't buy it. A joke." I snapped. "You ruined my life." She looked away, biting her lip. Then she mumbled, "I was jealous, okay? You were Mom's favorite." Jealous? I laughed. Bitter. "I was miserable, Lila. You made sure of it." She said she was young, stupid, didn't think it would hurt me that bad. Her eyes teared up, but I didn't care. I wanted to believe she was sorry, but her words felt empty. "Can we move past this?" she asked. I stood up. "I don't know." We didn't talk on the way home. Lila kept glancing at me, but I stared at the ground. Her excuse didn't fix anything. Jealousy. That was why she broke me. I felt empty, like our whole childhood was a lie. The diary was dark now, just a shadow in her hands. At home, Mom asked why we were quiet. Lila said we had a sister spat. I didn't argue, just went to my room. I locked the door, not ready to face her lies again. I lay on my bed, wondering if I'd ever forgive her. But one thing was clear, I wouldn't trust her anymore. The next day, I called Jess. I needed to talk to someone. We met at a coffee shop. I told her everything, the diary, Lila's plans, the confrontation. Her jaw dropped. "Your sister. That's awful." She hugged me, and it felt good to be believed. I showed her a page from the diary I'd copied. Jess said I should tell my mom, but I didn't know. Lila was still home, acting normal. Normal, like nothing happened. I was scared Mom would pick her side. Jess said, "You don't have to decide now." Her support made me feel stronger, but I still didn't know what to do next. Lila came to my room that night. She knocked softly, holding the diary. "I'm sorry, Em," she said, her voice quiet. She said she was a dumb teen, jealous of me, and didn't realize how bad it hurt. She cried, promising to make it right. I wanted to believe her, but her tears felt like another act. I told her I needed space. She nodded and left the diary on my desk. I stared at it, my heart heavy. Was she really sorry, or was she scared I'd get caught? I didn't know if I could ever trust her, but her words stuck with me. Mom caught me crying in my room. She asked what was wrong, but I couldn't say it. I mumbled about stress, but she didn't buy it. You and Lila are acting strange, she said. I panicked, hiding the diary under my pillow. I wasn't ready to tell her the truth. She sat with me, saying she hated seeing her girls upset. I wanted to spill everything, but I was scared. What if she didn't believe me? Or blamed herself? I said I'd talk soon, just needed time. She hugged me, but it didn't feel safe anymore. I went back to the diary, rereading the worst parts. The prom prank, Lila told everyone I'd asked out Jake, a popular guy, who laughed at me. I never did. I skipped prom, too ashamed. Reading it now, I was furious. Lila stole so many moments from me. I found an old yearbook, looking at her smiling photos of us. We looked happy, but it was fake. I wanted to burn it, but I didn't. I needed to remember who she was to move on. I decided to tell Mom soon. I couldn't keep this inside forever. I told Mom the next day after Lila left. We sat in the living room, just us. I showed her the diary, my voice breaking. I told her about the bullying, Lila's plans, everything. She went quiet, staring at the pages. Then she cried, saying, "I'm so sorry, Emma." She said she didn't know, but she felt like she'd be missing it. She wanted to call Lila, but I stopped her. I wasn't ready for that. I just needed her to believe me. She hugged me tight, promising to fix things. For the first time, I felt a little lighter. Lila called me a week later. I almost didn't answer. She left a voicemail, saying, "Mom told me you showed her the diary." She sounded nervous. "I'm so sorry, Em. Let's talk." I didn't call back right away. I was still too angry, unsure if I could trust her. I played the message again, her voice shaking. Part of me wanted to hear her out, but another part remembered her lies. I told Jess who said, "Only talk if you're ready." I wasn't, but I knew I'd have to face her eventually. I just didn't know when. I agreed to meet Lila at a park. She looked tired, her hair was messy, and her eyes were puffy. She said, "I was wrong," she said, "I'm sorry." She admitted jealousy drove her, thinking I had it easier. She said therapy was helping her now. She wanted to earn my trust back. I told her it wouldn't erase the pain. She nodded, saying, "I know." I didn't forgive her, but I listened. She gave me back the diary, saying she didn't want it. I took it, feeling like it was a piece of our broken past. I talked to Jess about Lila's apology. She said, "It's a start, but she has to show change." I agreed. I wasn't ready to forgive, but I felt less angry. I put the diary in a drawer, not wanting to read it anymore. It was time to let it go. Mom checked in with me, asking about Lila. I told her we talked. She said she was strong, and she'd support me no matter what. I started feeling like I could heal, but I knew it'd take time. Things got quieter. Lila texted sometimes, just small stuff like, "Thinking of you." I didn't always answer, but I didn't hate seeing her name. Mom and I set boundaries. We'd see Lila, but I didn't have to be close yet. It felt fair. I focused on school and friends. Jess and I made plans for summer, and I smiled more. I wasn't the scared kid from high school anymore. I was stronger, learning who I was without Lila's shadow. Lila sent me a long letter. She wrote about her therapy, how she was learning why she hurt people. She didn't ask for forgiveness, just said she'd give me space. I read it twice, feeling torn. I didn't reply, but I kept it in my drawer. I told Mom about it, and she said I didn't have to rush. She was proud of me for handling it my way. I felt okay, like something was shifting. I was starting to think about a future where Lila might fit again. I started writing in a new notebook about my feelings. It helped me sort out the pain and anger. I wrote about high school, Lila, and how I was moving on. I didn't want her actions to control me anymore. I hung out with Jess more, feeling like I could be myself. One day, I saw a picture of Lila on Mom's phone, smiling at a charity event. I didn't feel that old sting. I wasn't ready to reach out, but I didn't hate her as much. Healing was slow, but it was real. Lila texted me about a memory, a silly game we played as kids. I smiled, remembering. I replied, yeah, that was fun. It was short, but it felt okay. She didn't push, just said, thanks for texting back. I didn't talk anymore, but it was a tiny bridge. I told Jess, who grinned, saying, look at you, being all mature. I laughed it, feeling lighter. I wasn't ready for big steps, but this small one felt right. I started thinking maybe we could rebuild something, someday. I graduated from high school a few months later. Mom cried. Jess cheered louder than anyone. I felt proud, like I'd climbed a mountain. Lila sent a card, saying, congrats, Em. You're amazing. I kept it, not sure why, but it didn't hurt to read. I started college prep, excited for a fresh start. Lila and I texted sometimes about random stuff. It wasn't deep, but it was something. I realized I could set my own pace, choose what I wanted with her. That felt like power. A year later, I was in college, thriving. I had Jess, new friends, and a life I built. Lila and I talked more, slowly rebuilding. She was trying, and I saw it. I didn't fully forgive her, but I didn't need to yet. I was okay with that. I visited Mom one weekend, and Lila was there. We laughed over old photos, no tension. I realized I was my own person now, not her shadow. My high school pain was part of me, but it didn't own me. I was free,